just...
Do you think there's like a consistency to when we wear shirts for these? Because like there's gonna be a day where like we wear the same shirt like for 2 episodes, for 3 episodes, just because of the rotation.
Maybe it's something to pay attention to from now on. I think that's the best I'm gonna get it.
Hi. Happy December.
It sure is. With all the hustle and the bustle and the trussle
And the Mary and the Jerry.
And the happy and the slappy. We can rhyme, I guess.
We're Eminem, basically, because we're 2 white kids from Detroit.
Speaking of white kids from Detroit, here's a show about New York City and its stories. This is 30 Rock.
So you got mugged, huh, Mr. Donaghy? And you caught the guy who did it. Good for you.
Oh, no, Len. Tracy is helping me with this. But I can see how you went there. I have a criminal skull shape.
Racism.
Yep. See, Buscemi thought that his name is actually Tracy, right? Like, in real life? That's Tracy Morgan.
Yeah, that's the actor and comedian and SNL alum and father and son and grandson and possible uncle, Tracy Morgan.
Yeah. So Steve Buscemi thought that Tracy Morgan was the guy that... I don't even remember what the crime is anymore. Was it mugged? I think it was mugged. Yeah,
mugging.
Who mugged Alec Baldwin. And there's really no reason for him to believe that other than the fact that Tracy Morgan is black.
Yeah, and then Tracy Morgan said that his skull is criminal-shaped, which what the fuck does that mean?
It doesn't mean anything. It's dumb, and it's supposed to be dumb because, like, obviously that wasn't the point. And, like, in the scene, maybe it was the point, but, like...
Yeah, it's like Tracy Morgan is trying to make the racism, like, justifiable racism.
Yeah, but, like, not actually.
Yeah.
He's just, like, brushing it off, and, like, the meta text of the scene of the joke is saying racism.
Because he's like a cop, I guess.
Who?
Steve Buscemi.
I'm not sure what Steve Buscemi is, because Alec Baldwin in the scene talks about talking to the cops, but he also talks about the commissioner as someone who Steve Buscemi would know.
Yeah, because he's wearing a tie, so he might be like an office worker, a police officer officer worker,
or he might be like the DA or something,
or the ADA.
Yeah, or the DADA. Continue the bit.
Or the
add another letter.
Or the DADAD.
Len, Commissioner Kelly and I are friends. We have competing columns in Irish Arguments Weekly, America's Only, All Caps magazine. But Ray hasn't returned my phone call, and I know that you were once a police officer.
And that's it. He used to be. He's a former police officer.
Yeah. So I'm not sure what he is now, but that was funny because he described his relationship with the commissioner as being friends, and then elaborated on that by saying that they have columns in a newspaper.
Competing.
Yeah, competing columns. Like
and a newspaper that definitely does not exist.
Yeah. Well, the show doesn't exist. It's not real.
And nothing's real.
Nothing to get hung about. Strawberry Fields Forever.
That is like the 5th time you've made that joke.
I was part of a special task force of very young-looking cops who infiltrated high schools. How do you do, fellow kids?
What?
There's a lot to unpack there.
Yeah.
You want? We'll do one by one.
Okay.
So like I'll take it and then I'll pass along the joke to you.
Yeah. Do you want to do popcorn?
Well, you can't do popcorn because there's just 2 of us.
Yeah, but it will just go back and forth.
Sure. So for one, Steve Buscemi does not look young at all. Like, I could infiltrate a high school being a narc, but Steve Buscemi has looked 50 years old since 1982.
Yeah, and the clip that they showed of Steve Buscemi infiltrating high school made it abundantly clear that not only did he not physically look like a high schooler, he did not act like a high schooler. He dressed up really strange and specific, and said, and the quote's right there, how do you do, fellow kids? It's not a way that kids talk at all, unless they're quoting this scene, but in which case it wouldn't be how they talk in the universe where this is happening in reality. So it's...
Because the show 30 Rock doesn't exist in the universe that 30 Rock exists.
Yeah.
Unless, like, there's an episode where, like, 29 Rock exists, and it's, like, a parody of 30 Rock in the universe of 30 Rock.
It's possible. I don't know. I haven't seen much of this show.
More than me. His shirt also said music band. As just to try, like, and usually it's just, like, Aerosmith, like, album.
Yeah.
Or, like, a tour dates for, like, Linkin Park, but it's just two terms.
Yeah, I just said music band.
It's literally a template shirt.
Yeah. It's incredible.
He was carrying his skateboard like he would his backpack, and his backpack he would his skateboard, because his skateboard was over the shoulder.
Yeah.
Like a continental soldier.
So I'm glad you called me, Mr. Donaghy. I checked with my contacts on the force and got you this free pamphlet.
Len, I don't...
He just really is doling out all the jokes. So like getting he tried to see if he could get Alec Baldwin any help, and all he got him was a brochure or a pamphlet, and it's kind of like the big, like, a standard, like, corporate thing to do is, like, to get some appropriate merchandising. It's like, oh, sorry, we can't do anything about it, but have a Tootsie Roll Pop. It's like, well, thank you, but I required your service and you didn't do anything for me. And that's exactly what happened here, except that is not Tootsie Roll Pop. It is it's a pamphlet that just says that you got mugged, which is not something you usually get a pamphlet for. It's like not something to celebrate. You shouldn't be getting a piece of paper. It's like a certificate almost, and it's no good.
Yeah, and it's also like a monument of, like, tragedy, because even if, like, he only mugged, like, a shoelace, like, you still have to, like, deal with, like, someone stealing from you.
Yeah, you have to, like, live
public.
with the trauma.
Yeah. And, like, I would love to know, like, the weird, like, corporate police tips there are for, like, how to deal with being mugged, and then, like, on the back is probably, like, how to avoid being mugged.
Yeah.
Like, I can't read what's on that back. What's on the back. Mostly because it's very blurry. But if you can enhance right now.
I'm gonna be honest, it's probably just filler text. Like, they probably didn't take the time to fill out this whole brochure.
Maybe.
Like, you know how in movies it'll show, like, a news article, and then, like, the news article next to it just has, like, the same exact words from the news article they're focusing on, but, like, you don't focus on that part, so you don't see it.
Yeah.
It's probably what that is.
I don't want a pamphlet. I want a show of force, a demonstration of who's in control of this city. I want a cop on every corner.
Look, that's not going to happen. It's just one mugging.
Wait a second.
I didn't particularly think that was funny, but I didn't know where else to stop, and that was, like, the end of that, like, train of thought.
Well, it's funny because as he was saying that, there's police sirens going by my house. Or
okay.
Not my house, but in my neighborhood.
Oh, okay.
And I thought it was in the show because of the timing.
Yeah.
So that's why it's funny to me.
Why do you think it was funny? Let us know in the comments below. In the comments below. There we go. Good job.
I gotta pass it down. One day I'll be on top.
Where did you get that suit?
I'm not embarrassed. I get all my outfits at Ann Taylor Loft. Their clothes fit my body and my budget.
Exactly.
Well, that's funny because he said he's what I would assume would be the catchphrase or the motto or the tagline of that store, that they fit his body and his budget. Because like, you know, the idea that like nice clothes are expensive, but like the store would be like, oh, we have nice clothes and they're not expensive.
Budget. You have no interest in helping me. You're one of them. What do you make? 5 figures?
40 grand a year. But don't let the woman who's blackmailing me know that.
And the police have no interest in helping me either, despite the hundreds of dollars I pay every year in taxes. They think that I'm the enemy.
We have no choice but to take matters into our own hands.
I agree.
You do? Oh no!
There's a lot there. For one, 5 figures, while it seems like a lot of money, it's not like aha, gotcha, a lot of money.
No, it is not.
And he was specific in that it was $40,000.
Yeah, and then he was also specific that that he said there was a woman blackmailing him, and that she didn't know the amount of money that he had.
Yeah, which is probably more. She might think that he like works a minimum wage job.
Yeah.
Which back in 2012, 13?
7.
7?
This is an old show.
Minimum wage must have been like $7 then.
Isn't it only like $7.25 now?
Federally, yeah, but this is New York City.
That's fair, yeah.
Another joke is that Alec Baldwin thinks that he just wants money for clothes at like a discount clothes store.
Yeah, like a mid-tier store. Like that's probably not Kohl's, but like it's probably like the step above Kohl's.
JC Penney?
Yeah.
Marshall?
Or maybe like Men's Warehouse, but like clearance section.
It's not American Eagle.
No, definitely not. And then also Alec Baldwin's just like, oh, we need to make a change. And Tracy Morgan's like, yeah, are you ready to make that change? And he was like, yeah. And then Tracy Morgan screamed, I didn't really get that part.
Because he said, oh no. Because I don't think he was serious that it was them two. I think the inference is that they're going to take matters into their own hands and like be like cops and stake out.
Oh, okay. Okay, that makes sense. That's funny. Thank you for explaining the joke to me, Micah. I really appreciate it.
Explaining the joke to you, explaining the joke to them. Well, thanks
You're
for
welcome.
watching.
Tune in next time where we listen to